Do not attempt to adjust your set. This is a Streaming Freedom Video Bulletin. It cannot be stopped, and it is the only free voice left on the net.
Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. The following Skyrim video on PS4 is not a showcase, but more of a Let's Play. This is something that I don't normally do, but I'm now attempting for my third time to test an issue that I'm having with Skyrim's recording when shooting showcases to see if I've fixed it. I noticed the other day that while shooting a showcase for Skyrim that when editing the video together in SHAREfactory that there were several times the PS4 had malfunctioned and did not record sections of footage that I had shot. The video would simply skip ahead for no reason. They weren't edits that were done by me. And it's happened now each time I've tried to shoot something for Skyrim, but only Skyrim. So I did some research and saw that some other people that are PS4 users had mentioned that Sony's firmware has a bug in it that's been there for years, big surprise, that if you have over 20 gigabytes of data for a game saved, so like pictures, video clips, that can cause this bug to occur. So I had a bunch of video clips of mod showcases that I shot, but I never did edit together. They're way outdated now, so I deleted them to free up a bunch of space, and I'm now testing with this Let's Play if it has finally fixed the issue. So I figured that what would be perfect for this Let's Play is coming here to Labyrinthian to do a Let's Play for Shalidor's Maze. Now keep in mind, if you haven't played through this before, this video is definitely going to have spoilers because I will be running through the entirety of the maze in the video. But you want to make your way up to Labyrinthian, and when you teleport, you'll be here, head up these steps, and you see the structure that's located right here. The maze is very close by right here, as is other things. At any rate, the maze is located right near here. In fact, I like to get on top of the structure and kind of use it as kind of like a landmark, because the other landmark located right there, if you turn to your immediate left, this is Shalidor's Maze. Now this is not a mod, this is vanilla, so anybody has access to this at any point in their Skyrim playthrough. And before you enter the maze, make certain you don't miss there is a chest located right here that you can lockpick. It's a novice chest. I'm just going to use the Ring of Unlocking on it. But it does have some items in here that you can take if you need them. I'm not going to take anything myself, but get an idea of what it has. So let's go ahead and head inside the maze. So once inside the maze, make your way over here, and one odd thing you'll notice is the graphics do this as you move throughout this area. It's the only place that I've seen it do it. I don't know if it's intentional or what, but kind of weird. In any case, at the start of the maze, you'll notice that these staffs rise out of the ground. Really neat effect. And if you're not a mage, or even if you are one, you need these staffs to be able to complete the trials of the maze. Some of your spells will work in there, but I prefer to just use the staffs because there are some areas I noticed that didn't seem to work. There is a burnt corpse near the staffs right here. As you can see, it has a soul gem that you can take if you need it, but it has an important tattered note right here. And this is how you solve the maze. Enter twice, exit only once. Alteration will lead you to destruction. Only illusion shows the way to restoration. Conjure not, but be conjured instead. So you'll need this. I'll go ahead and take the note, that way in case you forget what it said. Now on the other side of the maze there is a word wall, contains a word of power, but you don't need to go through the maze in order to get to it. Simply go over here to the left, run up that way, and get to the word wall without ever going through the maze. The reason that we're going through the maze is to trigger a boss battle with a fairly powerful Dremora, as well as a couple of Arcanauts. So as you go through the maze, you'll find these shutters are here and they contain items. Not all of them do, but you can take these. It's not like it's something to tempt you and there's a penalty for doing so. So you can take any of it that you need. I won't be, but I will open them so you can see what's there. This is the Sigil of Alteration. This is the first test, and we need a Staff of Mage Light to pass it. So click the staff that you picked up and cast it at Sigil. Cause these bars to lower. On the other side of this chain right here will cause the same bars to raise again, so I just leave it be, but you can close it if you want for whatever reason. Now I've noticed as I've actually ran through this maze several times trying to do this Let's Play while the PS4 has been giving me errors, that Some of these seem to be in fixed locations that it will always have the same item. Some of them seem like maybe it's randomized or something, or at least I don't remember like it being empty at one time or not. So if you see it's empty when I open it on mine, if you're wanting these items, I'd still check it, because there could be something there for you.
I think I need to go to bed after
That was
all
the
this
first
walking.
of 2 skeevers
Care to
that you'll
join
be
me?
coming across
Oh,
on
no,
this section
I-
of the maze. One.
I meant separate.
That's the only 2 skeevers that you need to worry about for
think I
now.
should just
We'll
stop
have a couple
talking.
more skeevers as well as an ice wraith to contend with a little later on, and those skeevers sometimes are alive and sometimes killed by the ice wraith, so it just depends when we get over there. But for right now, there won't be any more enemies. So just continue your way through the maze, and yeah, here you can see there's nothing, but for you there could be something there, so I'd still check them if you're interested in seeing what they have. It's also a good way to let you know where you have and haven't already been at through the maze. It's not, I was gonna say, like, easy to get lost in here. You can easily just go to where I'm going and get right through it because it's all kind of like one way. You'll see some blood at this shutter, and the reason for that is if you open it, yeah, there's a head with a coin shoved in its mouth in this one. That one I'd probably just leave be. You're right, coming around here at the corner. Shutter right here, and that. And yeah, these are a bunch of former people that's tried to go through the maze, and I guess maybe the skeevers got them or something. I don't know exactly what happened there. But when you see that, you know you're getting close to the next sigil. So just continue on. You can hear the chant of the word wall there on occasion as we go through. Those should be getting pretty close to it. I think maybe right around this corner. Okay. Oh. This one maybe? Okay, it's right here. So that is a sigil for destruction that'll open this right here. So equip a staff of firebolt. Cast it as a sigil. Now, for those of you that are using the mod Obscure Magic PS4 or Obscure Magic PS5, I'm stuck. There we go. This is optional, but that mod adds in, supposedly, the Spelltone Celestial Vortex to this location underneath the maze, at least according to the information that I found from mod author KittyTell that says where it was added. I'll take an overlay in the video what I found. But I've looked all through here and I cannot find it. A little later on we come back down to this exact same area and a portal will be here. In fact, that is right over here. The second time we get down here, we come from this side, and then when we do, we'll see the boss battle portal, which will be right there. But I've looked all through here, both before and after the boss battle, and I cannot find Celestial Vortex. So, but this is where it's supposedly added, if I'm understanding correctly. Right here is a sigil that we can't activate. This is a sigil of conjuration, and you might recall that the tattered note said conjure not, that you would be conjured, so you don't need to worry about this. But a little later on I'll show you something fascinating about that that's behind the other portion of the wall, as we're both currently under and not under the map. Now right here you need to be careful. This opens up as you get to it, but you can accidentally get yourself stuck under the map. I'll try to show you that a little later on too, but I suggest when you start up these steps, you continue up them and leave. Don't try to come back down. So coming over here, you'll see this waterfall right here, and this close behind you. Then at this fire right here, you'll make a left. Run up this way. If you had skipped the maze, you'd be running up this way, and that's the word wall right there that I said you could get to. So the word of power that you learn from this is the Terror Shout Dismay. Now you'll recall that the tattered note said enter twice, exit only once. That's because we're entering the maze again, but this time from this side. Also, I've noticed every time I've played this that for whatever reason this shutter is always open even though I don't interact with it. Don't know why that's happening. Maybe to show you that they open in case you hadn't noticed. In any case, this is the next sigil. This is a sigil of illusion. For it, we need the Staff of Fear. Go ahead and cast it at it. Cause bars to lower on this side like before, and you might want to have an attack spell or weapon ready, as there could be a skeever nearby. Sometimes it's further in. Chain right there, a closed bar behind you again. Sometimes those skeevers are further in. Sometimes they're dead, sometimes they're not. There's an ice wraith in here also, and sometimes it seems like it kills them for whatever reason. I've had playthroughs running through this and doing this let's play where sometimes both skeever are dead, other times both are alive. The ice wraith I've found always is alive each time in the playthrough. Okay, nothing in any of those. Not certain where that other skeever is. I don't know if it might be dead when we get to it. That one was probably alive because it was pretty close by the entrance. The ice wraith always seems to be like much further on. This is kind of interesting. That there kind of looks like what's on the ground here, but you can't pick that up. I think that might just be like a tree branch or something. No, I don't know. Bloody rags there. And nothing in those. That we should be getting close to a spell tome. One of these has a spell tome for a heal spell. Okay, I hear the air skeever, so we're getting close to it. Okay. Open that one yet. Oh yeah, this one always contains these jewels right there with you. So, you can always pick those up right there if you would like. It's the only place that has jewels.
So you're good at alteration.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you know the spell where you can turn iron into
So
gold?
that was the ice
Now
wraith,
that would be
and
useful.
so we only need one. Worry about that, and that's the last enemy
I
until we
bet you
get to the
could have
boss
some
that's
fun with
located
that.
here. So this right here,
What?
skeleton,
No, I'm
has
not only
a book
interested in
that...
gold and making love.
Would you stop it?
Yes, let's go.
So this skeleton has a book that has the Liminal Bridges skill book that you can get, and it's got some pretty interesting lore. It might also raise your skill level. Didn't mind, but it doesn't need to. But I'll show you something fascinating about this area right here that we were under earlier. And I told you there was something fascinating about this, as we were kind of both were and weren't under the map at the same time. At any rate, getting back to going through the maze right here. Let's go ahead and continue to open these. There's a dynamo core right here, also the only one of its kind in the maze that you can take. And should be getting close to, yeah, right here there is a spell tome for Heal Other, and you'll see it one other time. I don't know if it's the same book. I think as we go around the maze it is, just at a different location that you're seeing it, but you'll see it one more time before we got stuck. Before we get down underneath the maze again. Right here. So that's the same book, Heal Other. And this is the other sigil. For this one, we need to use the Staff of Repulsion. Cast it with that. To open the way. Now, very important, the boss that is in here is pretty powerful depending on your level. But also, depending on your level, when you get close to that portal, it's going to pull you into a pocket realm of oblivion. And you do not want to one-shot the boss. I'm going to try to show you what will happen if you do. So just keep that in mind, that you definitely do not want to one-shot and kill this boss. So with that said, let's go ahead and head on in. So depending on your level, he could do a lot of damage to you, but if you happen to one-shot the boss, which I'm pretty sure you can do with this, yep, this is what happens if you kill the boss. We're now trapped in the pocket realm of oblivion. The reason for that is there's no way out of here. You cannot take and exit out by normal means. The only reason Sophia's here is because she teleports with me. She teleports with the player when you're not looking, but your followers can't get in here, so you'll be trapped in here all alone. You cannot fast travel out of here or anything. The reason for that is because that boss character, once his health starts to drop, he's supposed to teleport you out back to the maze itself, at which time you can then kill him. But if you one-shot him, then you're stuck in here unless you have a way to get out. And again, trying to fast travel out of it will not work. If you bring up the map and you try to access anything, you'll just get the notification that you cannot fast travel from this location. However, luckily Bethesda did include a failsafe if this happened, because the game, as long as you have the autosave on, autosaves right when you first come in here. So just bring up your load and load that last autosave. Shouldn't take too long, so I'm not going to cut the footage here. But luckily they did do that, because otherwise you'd have to load and like probably make your way through the entirety of the maze again. So this time, so that I don't accidentally one-shot him, I'm going to try to use just, I guess, maybe the Sapphire Firebolt on him, what I've done before, and just hit him once. That way I damage him. Okay, so that is what is supposed to happen. Once he gets down in health, he teleports you out, and now you can go ahead and take him out without damage. As the Arcanauts, which spawns, which can be the ice ones that you're seeing here. I've also had thunder ones, and most commonly the flame Arcanaut. Speaking of which, why does it sound like something's on fire around here? Is it me? No. There we go. Anyway, so now you can access the Dremor's body. He does have a Daedra heart you can take if you need it, but this is the real treasure right here. Diadem of the Savant. All spells cost 5% less to cast, and I don't recall ever seeing this anywhere else in the game, so I'm guessing that this is a fairly rare treasure and is the real reason for the reward of going through the maze. So, now though that we are done with the main walk through the maze, I can show you a couple of things that might be interesting to you. So, when he teleported us out, he teleported us right here at the start of the maze. This is where we first came in at to get to the maze. The reason for that is that Pocket Realm of Oblivion that we were just in, it is located right there. In fact, if I hunch down where you see my cursor at, that's where the realm is, out of bounds. So you might ask, why would we get caught? Don't worry, he's dead. At any rate, you might ask how I know that. The reason that I know that is because I have a blink spell from mod author Cyan49 that's called Blink Short Distance Teleportation, and I can use that if you know where to look to get out of bounds, and if the spell is powerful enough, you can break out of bounds using it.
What's on
and
your
go
mind?
to places that you normally would not be allowed to go to. For example, the Pocket Realm of Oblivion that we were just in. And no, I'm not stuck in here, don't worry, I can blink back out. But this is the way it looks. And again, Sophia has teleported in with me, but you notice Lydia hasn't. Normally, followers cannot follow you in here. Sophia just teleports when the player isn't looking, so that's why she does. But if you're thinking, can I access the boss without having to go through the maze if I happen to have this spell? The answer to that is no. If you teleport in here before the boss fight, it's just like this, just calm, nothing going on. But you can come over here and kind of see how they did the effect a little bit. I'll show you more in just a minute, but kind of see that got like this black box around here, and then they got like the dome of the effect. It's really neat looking. And you might be interested to see exactly where this is if I can break out of bounds. I have to wait till my reticule ain't red. Yeah, there we go. Get down to the void here, and then turn around, and that's what it actually looks like. That's that black box that we were seeing. You can see they got the dome encased in it, and the location that you're at, you can see the maze kind of off in the distance there. You can also see Sophia, actually, up there, which is interesting. But that is where the Pocket Realm of Oblivion is located on the outside of the map. So I thought you might find that interesting. But it is always there. Oh, this time I completely blinked back in. Sometimes it blinks me back into the, like, Pocket Realm, and then I have to blink out of there. Alright, so, besides that, there are a couple of interesting things I can show you about underneath the maze, so I'll be back with you guys in a minute, because I'm not going to make you sit through me having to run through the maze again. So you are able to get back down to the lower section of the maze. From either side, they do remain open. And again, for those of you that are using the mod Obscure Magic by mod author KittyTail, as long as I'm understanding what I found on the Nexus from KittyTail correctly, Celestial Vortex is supposed to be added somewhere down here, but I cannot find it. I do have the mod running right now. I've even broken out of bounds, went down into the void under here, in case it accidentally spawned there, but I can't find it. And that was both before and after the boss battle. But supposedly, it's down here somewhere. But for something interesting that you remember earlier on up top, that skeleton that had that Liminal Bridges skill book? We are technically under the map right now, but also not. because if I teleport onto the other side of this, I should be teleporting into the void, but that's what happens instead. Instead, I'm back outside on top of the maze, and on the other side of that is the skeleton with the Liminal Bridges skill book. That's why I didn't take the book, so that you would see it's the same skeleton, as the sigil is right on the other side of this. So we were, though, under the map, and I'll show you next a way that you can break out of bounds under there, even without having to have a mod. So just to show you real quick that you can't get out of here, this side is still open, and this side over here is still open, but you're not going to be able to get back out this way. There's only one way out, and you do need to be careful because you can break out of bounds even without a mod, but you'll be stuck down here if you do this without having like the blink spell or something else to get out of bounds. So recall I told you about this. Once you start heading up, go ahead, head out. Don't try to come back down. That's because if you start to head up and then you come down, you'll hear it start to close. Start to close like that. I think Sophia just set it off. Yes, she did. Okay, that's the first time that's happened.
I've never seen anyone do
normally,
it before.
you can accidentally trigger this yourself by trying to head out and then coming back into it. And you can break out of here if you want, but I don't recommend doing it right here because the water that's right here, even though you can't see it, is there. Everything will be extremely blurry to you, and your frame rate will really drop and suffer for it, and it won't clear up even if, like, I blinked out of here to get back up top and it didn't clear up. I had to reload the save. But you can still get out of bounds by, as long as it doesn't raise up again, going back down the steps and breaking out down there. Yeah, right here. So you'll see that we're under the maze. Actually, you can see Sophia walking around up there. And even though it does look boundless, as you can hear, it's not. I land right here. Can't see anything, but you're able to walk around down here. This is what the maze looks like out of bounds, as you can see. It's pretty massive. But, oh, there that goes again. I think Sophia set it off. Because that's hallway. As you travel that hallway is what causes that to raise and lower. And don't come down here if you can't get out by any normal means, because as you can see, you're not going to be able to teleport out. I have the blink spell, which is how I will be getting out of here. Oh, and for those of you that do have that spell, know sometimes, for lack of a better word, the spell short circuits, and you won't get out that way either. If that happens, you're just going to have to reload a save if you decide to do this. But I have checked, I currently have Obscure Magic running, and I've checked all down here also, on the off chance perhaps the spell tome accidentally spawned down here or dropped down here. I haven't seen it here. I've checked every nook and cranny of that underground section. I can't find it. Perhaps it's just the PS4 version. Maybe other versions the spell tome is there. I don't know. You can get the spell tome though in the other section that I showed in the showcase for that mod, so don't worry, you won't miss it. So besides that, there's only other couple of things I can show you. Nothing that's too noteworthy, but some you might find interesting. So these steps right here, they're located right near the entrance, as you can see. Just head up these, and these will give you access to the upper walkway areas. And again, it's nothing really too fascinating, but just a couple of things kind of hidden up here that some of you might want to go see about.
So, is it true what they think about?
So I don't recall the exact area that it is. I'm gonna have to look. It's kind of like a little area that like indents in. Yeah, right here. So there's a chest that is hidden right here that is not locked. It has a few items in it, a few potions that might come in handy to those of you that need them. And then the other side contains the other thing that I know about. I don't know if that's all that's up here. It's all I've found. I only found it because I was looking for the damn spell tome for a viewer all over the place, and when I couldn't find it, that's when I went to the Nexus and eventually found where Kitty Tail said that was supposed to be. Yeah, right here. There we go. So you can see skeleton right here, and then there's a shield you can take, and also a mace. So again, nothing really spectacular up here, just kind of hidden away, but some of you might want to grab that stuff. I don't know. Got stuck again. So in any case, that's going to bring us to the end of this Let's Play that, if it's anything like the other ones, once I start putting this together, I've just wasted my time because it's not going to see the light of day. Depends on how badly it skips. If by chance, If by chance, though, I've actually fixed the issue and found that it's not skipping, if you see cuts in this video, if I do upload it and it's not by me, I'll say PS4 error in like subtitles, but otherwise then they were cuts by me. And so pretty much if you see the video uploaded, then maybe what I did worked, and if so, I might make a little short for people that are having issues to help them out. In any case, thank you for taking the time to watch this Let's Play. I don't know how entertaining this was. This was more of a test to see if I could finally fix this issue with the PS4. Take care. In the Streaming Freedom Video Bulletin. Peace out.